Welcome finally to another tutorial, Paltalk tutorial series number 5. It's been a while, it's been over a year, and I thought I'd better get this done. So in tutorial number 4 we looked at handles, how we can get them, how we can retrieve them, how we can put them in the list, and all the sub handles we're going to need to communicate with Paltalk via our programs. I'll just switch over here to another desktop, and I've got a virtual box here running with Paltalk, Windows, whole deal. So in tutorial number 4 we made this little program here that gets a title for each Paltalk window that's open, the handle of it, the incoming text, the outgoing text, and the nick list, and the type of room it is. And to see that in action, let's just play it. Whoops. So we've got a PM window here, which is the Paltalk notifier, and let's just open a room. Got a room here. Let's hit the refresh, and we have the items in this list here. So in this tutorial we're going to look at getting the text from the room and from the PMs. So what I've done here is added a couple of controls, one being the rich edit text and a button, and also a pop-up, which when clicking on that will get the text of the selected room. So let's just hit all, get all the text at the moment, and as you can see it grabs the text, tells you what room it's come from, and it will place it in this rich edit control. And the same deal if we just use the get this room text pop up here. So let's have a look at the code. We'll go through it, we'll explain it, and you guys can do this in any language. I'm doing it in Delphi, but you guys can do it in any language. It uses the Windows APIs, and so it shouldn't be a problem. So this is the function here. It's called get Paltalk text. It requires a handle, obviously the incoming text handle from our list there, and it returns a string. And when we click this button here, let's just open it up, click this button here, it will clear the rich edit control. It will loop through each of the items in the list view that we made in tutorial number 4, and it will call this function with the handle to that particular item in the list view, and the function will return the text. So let's have a look at the function. So the first thing we're going to need is some variables declared. So we need one for the line count, the line length, and the line index. So what the line count will do, this will hold the amount of lines currently in this window here. As you can see there's 2 lines, but there's actually a third line which is hidden right here. And that's always, with all their rooms and all their PMs, there's always going to be that extra line. So to get an accurate count we're going to have to minus 1 there already. So the line count will return 3 when there's only actually 2. Then we're going to minus 1 for zero based index. Now zero based index means that when we call line index we're going to need a zero based index, meaning if we look here, zero based index would be 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. So really our last line will be on number 1 because it's a zero based index, 0 and then 1. So when we call this function or this parameter here, get line count, it will actually return 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to minus that, minus 0 base. But let's not talk about it, let's just do it. So we'll set a breakpoint here, one after the line count, and let's see what happens. So we're going to get our list, get that, and we've broken there. And if we look at line count is 1 because we've added the minus 2 there, so we'll always be correct for this, sending this parameter and minusing the hidden line. So now we've got the correct line count. We're going to, actually let's have a look at that. I brought up Microsoft Developers Network, and it says here, get the number of lines in a multi-line edit control. You can send this message to either an edit control or a rich edit control. No parameters are needed here, all it needs is the handle, which we put in here. So let's go on to the next one, em underscore line index. Let's have a look at that. Get the character index of the first character of the specified line in a multi-edit control. A character index is a zero-based index of the character from the beginning of the edit control. So what it's saying is from a zero-based index. So it's going to get the first character of the line we specified, and we got the line. Well, actually, look at that. Let's look at the parameter here. The zero-based index line number. And this is what we're talking about in line count, zero-based index line number. So we've gone there, we've minused our hidden line, and then we've minus one more for the zero-based index, which will give us the correct line number. And that's all that's required in that one. And that will return the beginning of the line. So if this is the line here, it will give you the index of this right here at the beginning of that line. Now the index will be all this text here to there, basically. So whatever amount of characters are there to there at the beginning of the next line. And if you've got a lot of text, obviously it will be from the beginning all the way down to the last line and the beginning of the index. So let's do that. So on this one it says it's 58 characters, and I'm sure that if you counted the characters here, it would be 58 characters from the top here all the way down to this beginning of the line here. Okay, so the next one is line length. So now we know the index of that line from here. We want to count how many characters are in that particular line. So let's have a look here. Retrieves the length in characters of a line in an edit control. You can send this message to either an edit control or a rich edit control. By the way, this is a rich edit control. This Paltalk uses rich edit control. So let's have a look here. The character index of the character in the line whose length is to be retrieved, which we got from line index. If this parameter is greater than the number of characters in the control, the return value is 0. So it's basically saying, say there was 100 characters there, and it was there, and then it said 150 or something, and we know there's not 50 here, so there's only 40, so it's going to send back 0. What else is there? What other good information? The rest of this is bullshit. Don't need any of that. Selected line extends from one through to another character line. Turn value by 3. Not important. What's important that is we're going to send line index to this parameter. So let's do that. So now we've got the line length, sorry. So we've got the length of it, which is 33 characters. I'm sure if you counted from here to here, it would be 33 characters. So the next part of it, we just put in here, if the line length equals 0, then there's obviously an error. It hasn't done its job. So you would think it would need to be greater than 0 for it to do its job. Also, if there's an error in here, if the greater, where are we? If the parameter is greater than the number of characters, so if it's stuffed up along the way somewhere, the return value is 0, which means we're not going to get anything. So hence the reason why we've just put this here. And I actually should have put an exit there. No, we don't need an exit. We actually should have put an exit there. So let's move on. Obviously it's greater, so we continue on. I'm going to put an exit there, so we're going to add that in. So the next part is we need a buffer to hold the characters, because it will grab each character separately, and it needs a buffer to put it in, and what we're going to use is an array of characters. So we're going to set the length of the buffer to the line length, which is how many characters there are. So we do that there. As you can see here, zero-based index once again, 32. We know the line length was 33, zero-based index, and we're good to go. Now this part here, let's have a look here first. This will probably explain it better than I can. Get line count. Okay, so copies a line of text from an edit control and place it into the specified buffer. You can send this message to either an edit control or a rich edit control. Now here's the important part. The zero base index of the line to retrieve from a multi-edit control. A value of the specified topmost line. This parameter is ignored by a single line edit control. So we know that that's what we've put in here, the line count. So that's obviously the line that we're going to retrieve the text from. So 0, 1, so we're going to retrieve it from 1 is the first parameter. The second parameter, a pointer to the buffer that receives a copy of the line. So that's our buffer we just created, an array of chars. Before sending the message, set the first word of this buffer to the size in the amount of characters, or in chars, of the buffer. For ANSI text, this is the number of bytes. For Unicode, this is the number of characters. So in ANSI, 1 byte is a character anyway. Unicode is 2 bytes to a character, so really just per character and you're good to go. The size of the first word is overwritten by the copied line, so it's very important we need to give them the size of the line length in the first buffer slot, as you could say slot, in the array here. So it will sit in here, and we do that by, so we know the line length, and we do that by typecasting the first one here. We could do it the other way and typecast this as a wide char into there, and let's see that happen now. So F8, you can see there's an exclamation mark. Now you're probably wondering, why isn't there 33 in there? Because if you look at here, I'll show you. So there's the artsy table. If you look at 33, the char representative of it is an exclamation mark. So that's the reason why you're not seeing 33. It is 33, but it's because we got an array of chars, it's going to be a char with this exclamation mark. So the next one, we obviously call this and send that message, get line. As you can see now, our buffer is filled up. If I look in here in the buffer, has joined the room. Now here's the important part. Let's go back here and have a quick look. Remarks, rich edit controls. Here we go, edit controls. The copied line does not contain a terminating null character. This is very important. You've got to know this. So you've got to add it. And this is what we do here. We add a null terminate. That's null terminated character. So we know it's the end of the string. What else has it got here? Supported Microsoft blah blah blah. The copied line does not contain a terminating null character unless no text was copied. If no text was copied, the message places a null character at the beginning of the buffer. So there you go. We need to add the null character. So we add that here. Otherwise you'll get some weird, it will still work, but you'll get some weird writing at the end, or it won't know in memory where the end of that string is stopped. So we've added that, and now we return the result. And now we clear our buffer, and of course if this wasn't true, we would have just returned failed on the handle, and we get our string. And that's pretty much it. That's not much more to say, except have a good look at this code. I'll upload it to paste bin or whatever it was I normally upload it to. Have a good look. Read up on the Microsoft Developer Network. Read about what these messages that you're sending are, what they do and how they work. I mean, this is the best place. If you guys want to know something, go here, because it has all the information, and it doesn't matter what language you use. And I'm going to call that a day for this tutorial. Next tutorial we'll look at sending text. So we'll just show that again, make sure it's still working. Let's open up a few rooms. That one, Let's open up that one. Let's open up and see what Amit's doing. Okay, got a black nickname. So let's refresh there. We've got all the rooms and PMs and all that good stuff. Let's get all the text. And that's the text for each room.
No, that's not working.
Nope, sounds fine. Turn that one off. Okay, that will do for today. Close all these down. Hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Hope you get a little bit better understanding on how to get text from Paltalk. It's not hard. I'll upload the code, I'll upload the video, give you the web links to the Microsoft Developer Network, and all is good. Till next time, in the next tutorial number 6. See you then.